What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm so excited to bring you guys yet another video in Swagmas. I genuinely hope that you guys are enjoying Swagmas. I feel like I've been having a lot of fun, even though it has been quite taxing on my side, which I'm sure a lot of YouTubers say, because it can be a lot to upload every day for a long stretch of time. And I tend to do this for 31 days straight. I have already missed an upload, but it's okay. Nobody's perfect. So for today's video, I'm going to be showcasing to you guys a full face based on my personal horoscope. So if you did not know, I am a Capricorn. I was born on December 31st. Happy birthday to me early. I'm sure I'm not posting this actually on my birthday, but I thought this would be really cool to just go through an article that was literally published for people that are looking for, a full face or a type of makeup routine that they should have based on their horoscope. And as you guys know, I love makeup. I have quite a bit of it. And so I figured, let's shop my stash and create this face of makeup that this individual thought would be perfect for me based on my horoscope. It'll be interesting to see how you guys decide if you guys think that this is good or not. I won't do any sneak peeks or any teasers, so this will definitely be in black and white. But I definitely want to know down below if you guys think that this was a success, if you think that this article really got me down pat. And with that said, let's get into the video.
The black man. Santa Claus the black man, and I found out that's what I'm telling you.
Hey guys, so for today's video, as I said in the intro, I thought it would be really fun to play around with the concept of using my horoscope to judge what type of makeup I would personally like. And I did find one particular article. I will have that article listed down below. If you did not know, I am a Capricorn and my birthday is actually coming up in a couple of weeks. And I thought it would be really fun and interesting just to Google makeup that Capricorns wear. And basically this article was one of the first to come up where it's basically using my zodiac sign to determine which makeup I would like. Some of this stuff feels a tinge bit like they're targeting me and like accusing me of being me, but at the same time I asked for it. So basically at the beginning of this, it talks about how different things kind of determined by my zodiac style, such as relationships, careers, social lives, and finances, blah, blah, blah. And then they also talk about some famous people who are Capricorns. I'm not really into famous people, but they list Kate Moss, Deepika Padukone, and Sienna Miller. I'm sorry if I butchered any and all of their names. But then they finally list the makeup. And first things first, talk about face products. Now, I just literally realized that I did not wet my sponge. For the type of face product that they're recommending for me, I prefer a sponge. So let me run and do that. And then we will come back to showcase what the product is that they think me as a Capricorn would prefer over all other products. So first things first, they say for face that Capricorns BB creams will appeal to us because it is practical nature of us Capricorns. It says that these multi-purpose creams conceal, brighten, and blur, so they skip the gazillion products and opt for a quick fix with these creams. Now, like I said, I feel like in some instances they were truly targeting me, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this was one of those instances. I won't lie, I am one of those people that if I can skip a couple of things and just target the exact product, the exact finish, whatever it is that I need, I will do it. And so in that instance, I actually do like a BB cream. But I do still like some variety, some texture, and some color nuance. And so that is something that I don't find that I can really get in a BB cream. Today's BB cream that I'm using, I'm just kind of currently hooked on this Juvia's Place one. I just find that it really matches my décolleté nicely. And I don't know, I kind of have a mind to see how much product I can really get through before the end of the year. But, you know, getting back on topic, I find that it is very interesting that something that I have found me literally saying in multiple videos, that if I can get through something or kind of find the quick finish, quick result, whatever it is, I will do it. And the fact that they really hit it on the head about that, I do 100% agree that if I can use a BB cream to kind of get a fast result, I will. That said, once again, for me, I do want a little something, even just a little concealer, a little bronzer, and then I can be fine with my face. Like, if I had to choose kind of a complete face, those would be the two additional things that I would add. And then of course powder. So what I am going to do, I'm going to cheat just a tinge, and I am going to add those two products. I didn't put any primer on. This is what happens when you film really late at night. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to move forward. So for concealer today, I'm going to use the Sephora Best Skin Ever. I really love this concealer. This is in the shade 50N. And if you're wondering, I have tried this one and the really skinny Sephora concealer. I like both of them. And I'm this same shade, I want to say, in both products. Very kind of positive, not fully positive, but sort of kind of, if that helps. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tap this in really quickly. It doesn't take me long to blend in my concealer. Concealer blended in beautifully. I feel like these two really marry nicely together, and that's the one thing that honestly, if we're gonna go on a tangent, because it's me, I did not like about the Juvia's Place. I felt like that was just a little bit too much, whereas these I both feel like really, you know, they give a little life. There's a little wiggle room to the actual products where, yeah, I can get full coverage, but I can also get kind of a more believable medium coverage, which is my bread and butter. Then we got bronzer, and for bronzer today, hopefully I am using, yep, I think this is the one. This is the Rare Beauty On the Horizon. Like I said, that was not kind of recommended for what Capricorns would like, but I think this kind of website page, whatever, kind of forgot that there are Capricorns that are obsessed with makeup. And although, yes, to my core, I would love to just put on a BB cream and call it a day. At the end of the day, I love certain parts of my makeup. I like certain kind of aspects of a full face. And these are two parts of a full face that you will not catch me slipping and not including. Not in a typical day, unless it's like an atypical day where I'm just like busy or something. It's not gonna happen. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this in, and I just feel like easily that little bit of bronzer, concealer has just added nice amount of dimension to my face, where for me as like a makeup person, I feel more complete. Now, of course, I am going to be putting on powder. I am combination oily. There's no way, even for this short amount of time that I plan to wear this makeup, that I can actually feel comfortable putting this product on without some form of powder. So I am going to throw some powder on very quickly. I think just to kind of work with what I have available, I'm going to use two types. I am going to use my seam, the powder under my eye, and any other range that I have concealed with my concealer from Sephora brand, and then the other zones and my bronzer zone, I'm just gonna set those with my Kosas powder in deep. I just think that'll be good. So yeah, give me 1 second and I'm gonna finish up all of this powdering. Okay, I feel like it's not a lot, but it feels good. I don't feel like I need to use my setting spray that will literally melt my setting powder and other powders, which I didn't really use any others, to my cream. So I'm just going to use my LYS really quickly. This is the natural finish. I really do like this to kind of finish my base, and since I don't feel, like I said, that I have any powdery finish, this can work for kind of finishing my base right now. Okay, next up in the article, it screams that for brows, nothing screams boss lady more than bold brows. Filling your brows and define the shape with a brow liner. Fierce brows will bring out the natural leader in you. And I must agree, I do really like using a brow pencil to define my brows. I actually brought that up in a recent video featuring my full face of Merit Beauty. And yeah, I think that there are a lot of brow pencils that really work. I'm honestly not too particular when it comes to brow pencils. I just want one that's affordable and that actually works for a believable shade on my skin tone, but also compared to my actual brow color. This one happens to be from NYX in the shade Ash Brown. Typically, I can get away with Ash Brown at any brand, although there aren't a lot of brands, now that I think about it, that actually have an Ash Brown shade. I want to say honestly only NYX and ABH off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are other brands. I just am not privy to that information and I probably haven't tried the brand. But yeah, I really like a brow pencil to define and really kind of make my brows bold. I will say this year I've really found that I do gravitate towards a more fluffy kind of finished look. So I will go ahead and really build up the brow. I'll even brush it through with the spoolie on the end of the brow pencil. But then what I will do is take my brow gel, and my brow gel's purpose really is to fully lay and set the brow hairs permanently. And currently in my project pan, I'm using this Patrick Ta brow gel, and yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this, but it works. It does set the brows, but there are different kind of nuances to the application that's just not perfect. But as you can see, my brow is clearly filled in from when I began, but at the same time, it's not super bold and like stark on my face. I find that it really kind of blends in, and once again, kind of very similar to what I said in that Merit video, this is a full face so far of product that if you didn't know me, I could probably pull it off that it looks like I woke up like this. Now, how many people actually wake up like this? Very few, okay? Very few. But there are some that do, and those lucky few have really put in the work on their skincare, and so they can kind of showcase beautiful skin at any time. I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. So that's the brows, and for this time I will say I agree. I do like boss lady brows, just my boss lady brows that are filled in with a brow pencil is actually a little fluffy. And it's interesting that they call it a brow liner and not a brow pencil. I wonder if the person that created this is very into makeup, or maybe they're kind of a cursory, kind of a guest to the makeup realm and not obsessed like your girl. Next, eyes. So for eyes, they tout that it's perfect to have earthy tones that are ideal for, of course, an earth sign. Swipe on eyeshadow in shades of green, brown, or bronze. Draw a thin, fuss-free line with a black gel liner for a more defined look. Once again, I feel targeted. I feel targeted because lately, what have I truly been enjoying? A brown eye with a little bit of pizzazz, just a little bit of pizzazz. So we gonna do some pizzazz today. Now, I do vaguely remember, I don't even know how long ago, that somebody asked me to do a tutorial with this mini Biba eyeshadow palette. I've had this for quite some time. Actually, I got this, I want to say, for free with a very old Natasha Denona order that I made, and I've played around with it. I've actually worn it, and I actually like this. I think that it works beautifully. So I want to go ahead and kind of answer that random comment that I vaguely remember, but also, you know, do this video at the same time. So first, your girl needs to find a fluffy crease brush. Okay, fluffy crease brush established. And let's see if the name is still there. It is. This is the BOM 45. And I'm going to go into the darkest shade in this palette, which I'm going to go with it being the shade Cocoa. And I pretty much am just going to lather. I have not primed my eye. I am doing great. I'm just firing at on all cylinders. Every last cylinder is working great. Okay, so I'm gonna pull my About Face eyeshadow primer. You guys know I really like this primer, and it's a personal preference. Of course, use whatever primer works best for you. And if you are the person that asked me for a tutorial, I hope that you enjoy this. So as I was saying, I'm gonna take a fluffy crease brush with the shade Cocoa, and we're just gonna really be messy with it. This shade isn't too far off from my skin tone. It's just a tinge bit darker and a tinge bit warmer. So I can really be very, very liberal with this shade. I'll even blend it over my crease, as you see, go all in my, I said in my crease, blend it all over my lid, in my crease. I don't find that I need a transition color if you are lighter. And, you know, depending on your technique, you may need to use a transition color before or after just to blend that shade out. Once again, on my skin tone, it pretty much blends in. And we're just gonna go ahead and keep working. Let me pull my mirror back up. The beauty about this palette is, for me, all of these shades work on my skin tone. So like I said, I took that Cocoa shade, which is the darkest shade, and I threw it all in my crease and my lid. And as you can see, it just looks like I have a little bit of a shadow, a little bit of a warmer color all throughout that area. And then what I traditionally will do is take the cream shade, and that will kind of set the rest of my lid. It doesn't really show up too much depending on how much I pack it. Let me get a brush correctly for this application though. So a quick brush that I found, this one happens to be from Give Me Glow. I don't think they even have this range anymore. This is the L15, and now I'm going to go into the middle shade, which is L. And once again, that's the other matte in this palette, and just brush this over the rest of the eye. Like I said, this doesn't really, like, it shows up, but it's not super apparent. It pretty much just looks like that was like not a part that had the brown. And so that's why this palette for me really is genius. I have taken this traveling before, and I really just think that this is a palette that for once Natasha got right for dark skins. Now, I could definitely use the shimmer in this palette and have a full kit and caboodle. If you know my technique, I typically will just take that shimmer, put it in my inner corner, and fluff it into the inner lid and the lower lash line as well. But I want to bring in some more of those earthy tones that they referenced in the video. And for that, hopefully I have my Rowan palette close to me, and I'm envisioning using one of my favorite shades in that palette. It's really funny that this is honestly something that I'm doing right now in the midst of somebody actually bringing this up at my work, and it was honestly interesting to hear her kind of interpretation on this whole kit and caboodle. So I did finally find my Rowan 1111 quad. I really like this like taupey-ish green shimmer, so I'm gonna start off with that. It is a cream, and if you did not know, these creams from Rowan do not set down. So if you do have kind of more oily combination lids, I would highly recommend you setting it down. And yeah, So I'm going to start with this just more mainly as a base. I'm just going to put it in that inner corner and, like I said, slowly in that lower lash line. I wish it was doing a little bit more with the color, but we will make it work, don't you worry. Okay, so I've put that on, and I will say I think this is the first time I've actually applied that type of product from Rowan with a brush. I typically would use a finger, and just not loving that, but it is okay. I also realized that if I couldn't find that Rowan quad, because it took me a bit to find it, I also had my Climax 9 pan from NARS from, I want to say, last holiday. This is another kind of beautiful neutral earth tone palette that I really gravitated to. So I'm gonna go into this green shimmer, and depending on how it plays on the eye look, I may lighten it up with this light kind of champagne-y shade as well. I'm just gonna go right in with the same brush. I've been using the Blend Bunny Cosmetics B2 in case you're wondering. And yeah, okay, that easily brought a lot more green to this look, exactly what I was looking for. So I probably should have honestly just went with this, but you know, it's about the journey with makeup, not necessarily the destination. So we're just going to really apply this nicely to that inner corner and blend to the lid. Okay, so my eyeshadow's pretty much done. I am, as they accused me of, I am gonna use a black liner. This is my normal. I almost always go in with a black liner in my tight line and my waterline. And as they said, it just brings some depth to the look. Oh, we are pretty much done. I mean, I will say they did not reference mascara, which honestly, I don't know who they think is actually going to be completing any form of makeup without mascara. Not I. At minimum, I gotta put some mascara on. I would love to throw on some lashes, but since we're really vibing with the Capricorn, and I feel like most Capricorns are gonna be too lazy and can't be bothered to put on mascara, let alone lashes, I'm just gonna cut the corner with this. Or maybe I'll do 2 cut corners, because I did 2 cut corners for my face. What do you guys think? I'll be back once I've concluded what I'm gonna do, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie. This mascara with this look isn't looking too bad. I feel like it really just needed to dry out for me to get what I like done on my lashes. Honestly, I think this is not looking half bad at all. I think this is definitely a look that I could see myself leaving the house with and also genuinely enjoying. But let's do the piece de resistance, okay? So for lips, they are stating that as an ode to your birth sign, they want me to apply a coat of garnet lipstick, a deep red shade that flatters my flawless complexion and will boost my confidence. Not gonna hold you up. I could use a boost to my confidence. Today has been a slightly rough day. Not gonna lie. But me with red, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, y'all. But what we finna do, we finna still line with my baby, my puppy, my girl, Limitless Brown from Makeup Forever. I really need to moisturize my lips, and I also really need to sharpen that pencil. But first things first, let's go find a red lipstick. Do I even have a red lipstick? Let's investigate. So funny enough, I actually do have 2 products that as soon as I went over to my lipstick area, I really remembered. So first things first is actually this MAC lipstick. Hopefully it's not bad. This is actually something that my mom picked out for me. And so for that, genuine reason. This is going to be in my collection till it goes bad, and even then I might still keep it. This is in the shade Burning Love. At one point, I don't actually remember why, but me and my mom were in a MAC store and she picked out a shade for me. I picked out a shade for her. I think at this point she has finally finished the shade that I picked out for her, but I still have a whole lot of left of the one that she picked out for me. If we're being honest, I didn't even know that red was in my birthstone. I could have sworn it was teal. Maybe the birthstone changes based on the part of Capricorn that you're born in. I know the very cursory skim level about birthstones, and that is that I'm a Capricorn and I have Earth rising and Earth moon. Other than that, don't ask me nothing. I really don't know. I've never taken the time to pay attention. But I need some moisture. And although this isn't going to give me a lot, I feel like for this short period of time, it will feel like it's giving me moisture. This is from Romand, and this is the Vintage Ocean Lip Tint. Like I said, I'm sure this is honestly going to pull it a little bit different, but I need to feel some fake moisture. My lips are dry. I love that. I do. So let me pull down my hair, double check that I finished the article, and then I'll come back to give you my thoughts on how I feel about this full face based on my birth sign, which is of course Capricorn. Triple checking, they did mention some things such as a nail color. I'm not doing my nails, not gonna hold you up. But what I will say is that this makeup actually does incorporate some things that I currently have actively been just naturally inclining towards. For example, the very quick kind of BB or CC cream type foundation base. I definitely have been reaching for this type of product lately, especially after I kind of unofficially canceled my project pan when it came to the foundation. I've just been reaching specifically for this Juvia's Place. I was really invigorated and reminded on how good this product was, and I haven't been able to put it down. I haven't. If you're wondering, this is in the shade Legos, and all of my products will be listed and linked down below that I have on my face. As for the concealer and the bronzer, those are just personal kind of additions to my kind of quick base. If I had to do a really quick base, those things, along with of course powder due to my skin type, are just necessities for me. And so I would really continue to do that. If I didn't do all three of those kind of color cosmetics products, what I would just do is conceal my pigmentation, my hyperpigmentation, and then just powder. So either way, I find that like they didn't really hit the nail on the head with me in particular when it comes to my face kind of preferences, but I'm not the typical Capricorn when it comes to makeup. When it comes to makeup, I'm willing to go through a couple of different additional bits and bobs to get the desired effect, and I am really just enjoying this current full face. Then when it comes to eyeshadow, I won't lie, I think they really hit the nail on the head. I've been really enjoying browns, earth tones in general. I found that in this kind of era of loving and gravitating towards earth tones, I found an authentic and true undertone for myself, which is something that I had gone through weird phases of trying to find my undertone due to just a variety and a barrage of awful foundation ranges that I grew up with and matured with throughout the makeup community. At one point I thought my undertone was cool tone, then I thought I was warm tone, and now I feel like I've really settled onto the correct undertone, which is neutral olive with a splash, just a splash of some warm tones. So anything that's like yellowy is pretty much your girl's bread and butter. As for the lip product, I won't say that I don't think I look good in red lip products, but this is not my bread and butter. You probably will never catch me really actively wearing a red unless I'm wearing this particular lipstick. Like I said, it was one that my mom picked out, and I will never declutter it. It's just one of those things that like I have a genuine authentic tie to, very similar to one KVD liquid lipstick that I refused for a very long time to declutter because I got it with one of my closest and oldest friends. And yeah, it's just one of those things for me. I'm sure you guys have similar products in your collection where you're like, I don't want to. And then when you do, you're like, okay, well, I'm not decluttering that relationship or whatever have you. And I'm sure I will get to that point, but for right now, your girl's gonna hold on to this lipstick and really, really enjoy it. I'm so happy I put on that lip tint. Definitely don't think it actually changed the color, but my lips just feel a little bit more moisturized, and I just piece de resistance. Now, if I could add to this color, this makeup look in general, I'm not gonna lie, I would add blush, I would have highlighter, and then I would feel content. But then at that point, that's a legit full face, and most Capricorns in our authentic kind of quick and easy, quick and dirty full face, or just personality in general, they're not gonna do this. They're not. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely comment down below if you think that this is something, especially if you're a Capricorn, that you would be comfortable with specifically what this article said. Do you want to see me do another kind of video of this featuring some other articles, maybe even some other outside sources? Would you like to see me do this with other horoscopes? Definitely comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. And with that said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.